Hi, I'm Lindsey, girl Gone Glamping, and I'm from a little town outside of Buffalo, New York. I started living nomadically 6 years ago, and I was kind of just sick of living the city lifestyle. I lived in New York and then Chicago, and I just wanted to be able to be out in nature more. And I'm kind of just at a place now where I'd rather live in nature and seek out the city life as opposed to what I was doing before, where I was living in the city and found it very hard to seek out nature. I think the biggest impact that living on the road has had on my life is it's allowed me just to believe in myself, to have that confidence that I can handle different scenarios, learn different things. It's just given me a lot of confidence to literally go out and explore the unknown. A lot of times there's unknown variables, obstacles, and also just being alone with yourself for a lot of time. You get really comfortable knowing yourself, fighting your demons, and there's just a lot of self-growth that happens when you're out there in the middle of nowhere by yourself. When I first started living on the road, it was 4 years before the pandemic, and there wasn't a lot of people in my chapter of life. I think I was 32, 33 when I got on the road, and I met a lot of retired folks, and I also met a lot of teenagers taking a gap year, and I was working full-time remotely, and I couldn't really find that many people that wanted to go have a $20, $30 meal. And since the pandemic, that's changed drastically. There's a new generation of van lifers out there, and they're doing it really well. There's different apps and meetups and caravans, and a big part of that is the working remote component. So it just has opened up the doors for so many other people to live this lifestyle. And some of my closest friends I've met living on the road, you just kind of have a commonality of what you're seeking in life. And then you just get to experience and explore these beautiful places together, which is just building camaraderie. And it's just really a beautiful thing. When I first started thinking of the idea of living on the road, I pretty much made a pros and cons list. And I told myself if I could find one good reason not to do it, then I would really inspect that and look at it. And I didn't want that one decision to be fear-driven. I am a female traveling by myself, and that does raise a whole bunch of other challenges. I'm not of the mindset where I shouldn't be allowed to do something or I should not be able to experience something just because I'm a woman. I have my Instagram handle on the back of my truck, and a lot of people have told me, don't do that. That's not safe. You're asking for problems. But realistically, if I'm getting gas or groceries and somebody stops to watch me for more than 5 minutes, they're going to see I'm a female by myself. I think you just have to take safety and kind of bump it up the priority list a little bit higher. Honestly, most people I found are good. They want to hear your story. They want to be a part of it. I've had strangers offer me driveways to park in, send me home after inviting me to dinner with a Tupperware of leftovers. And that's kind of just restored my faith in humanity as well, that people are good. And I hope someday when I have a little piece of land and a little house of my own that I can do the same for other nomadic people. Whenever I'm faced with the problems, I like to look at it as it's just a problem that I haven't found a solution for. There's always an answer. It may not be a cheap answer or an easy answer or one that you like, but there's always an answer. So I think it's just kind of having that in the back of your head. Ideally, having somebody to travel with you, it's kind of nice to have that sounding board to bounce things off of. Even, hey, does this feel safe to park here tonight? Or, which directions do you think is going to be the better path to take? But eventually, you just have to rely on yourself when you're traveling alone, and kind of just builds that confidence up. I am very much glamping. I wanted to set myself up for long-term success. I wanted to have on-demand hot water and a microwave and a blow dryer, a flat iron. I probably have too many of those things in my camper, and a stand-up desk for a working station. I'm definitely sacrificing some things like space, but I had my cornerstone foundational components that were a must for me. And again, it was just a problem where I hadn't found the solution to yet, and then eventually through lots of designing and rebuilding and remodeling and modifications, was able to get pretty much everything I need with me. Yeah, so I bought it with the truck and the camper all together. He had honestly barely used it. He gave me a stack of manuals and was like, never use the water heater, never use this. And I ended up gutting quite a bit of it, redid all the electrical, solar, all new batteries, took out bunk beds, put in different storage. My dad's a welder. He manufactured a ski box for the rear of it. And there was no steps when I bought it. So I drove it from Salt Lake back to Buffalo, army crawling in and out of the rig because the door sits 48 inches off the ground. And we designed a step that folds up and down quite easily. Still a big step up. I was actually pretty disappointed and shocked the first couple times I rolled up to a BLM spot and found just garbage and trash everywhere. It wasn't what I had expected. I had this Instagram picture in my head of, coming into a beautiful camp spot. I've seen a lot of van lifers go into those spots and trash them, and you try to have words with them about it, and then you do your part and bring a trash bag and pick up after yourself and others, and leave it better than you found it. But I do think that it's a double-edged sword where there's so many people wanting to access nature and live this lifestyle, which is great. I want everybody to be able to do that, but to do it respectfully and to be able to preserve it for not just our generation, but the next generation as well. If you've even had a thought about trying to live this lifestyle, whether you think it's like for retirement goals or just a dream, whatnot, I really, really encourage all of you to explore that. Watch some YouTube videos, message people on Instagram. I'm Girl Gone Glamping. I'm happy to answer questions. You can try it, and even if you try it for 6 months, it's going to change you in one way or the other. You don't have to commit to doing it for the rest of your life, but it's such a unique way to live and explore the United States or wherever you choose to go that I would be reminiscent not to encourage everybody to dip your toes into it.